previous video, we talked about what the heart of a disciple looks like, and we even dove into the difference between desire and hunger. Today I want to talk about the definition of a disciple. And we know the word disciple translates into learner, meaning learner to be Christ-like. The definition is one who wants to follow Christ, grow in Christ, share in Christ, and serve in Christ. This will be a 4-part video series, and today we will focus in on following Christ. Now, the natural thing to do would be go straight to the New Testament, read all about the life of Jesus Christ, and do our best to follow his teachings. However, I want to acknowledge, I realize that could be intimidating, that could be daunting. How are we supposed to follow the Son of God, the man who lived a perfect, sinless life? Well, in the same manner that a parent who loves their child would not ask them to do something only to set them up for failure, our God would not set us up for failure either. So maybe I could offer these words of advice. You were created on purpose for a purpose. I want to say that again. You were created on purpose for a purpose. And the purpose of life is to have a life of purpose. In other words, a life with meaning. So maybe what we can do is potentially lower the bar a little bit. Maybe lower the bar in a way that it is known as a stepping stone to living a Christ-like life. What if I told you there was somebody you could read about and model after who is an icon of a disciple, but was formerly known as the chief of all sinners? He was a very violent aggressor. He was possessed with blind hatred. He was actually an accomplice to St. Stephen's death. He's even known as a murderer. Well, this person was Paul, formerly known as Saul of Tarsus. Paul actually wrote 13 of the books in the New Testament, and he gives incredible advice on how to live a life of discipleship, to be prosperous and to be Christ-like. As a matter of fact, his writings account for almost 25% of the New Testament. And some of the advice he gives, you can read in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. He says, I do not do just what is best for me. I do what is best for others so that many may be saved. And I love this part. He says, imitate me as I imitate Christ. In other words, look, if you think living like Christ is intimidating for you, then imitate me, because I will be a path, a stepping stone on your journey to becoming a disciple. I can't think of a better example of somebody to model other than Jesus Christ, because Paul is described as a person with real grit, a patient mentor, an amazing teacher. He's tough and tenacious, and he's fiercely relentless, and he has unyielding courage. These are words I think we would all love for people to describe about us. So maybe I can take some of the pressure off by saying a Christian life is not about you trying. It's about you relying. If you want to read more about what it looks like to rely on Christ, to have a prosperous life, go to Galatians chapter 3. I think your eyes will be open to some awesome information. And in the meantime, go to your pastor. Talk to your pastor about what it looks like to live a life of discipleship. Or maybe there's some men or women in your church that are living lives of a disciple. And if you don't have anyone in your sphere of influence, at the end of this video, you can see my contact information and reach out to me. I would gladly walk along your side on the path of discipleship.